So we have a track like this. Track ka radius is r. There is a block here of mass m. The height is h. This A is the topmost point. This is just like, you know, that Hot Wheels car track. So the question is, a block is released on a smooth track as shown. First thing, find h minimum so that it reaches A. Second, if you're giving height h is 2 times h minimum, find the speed and normal reaction at A. So see, basically, like, what if you don't give enough height, what will happen? This will come like this. It will go till here and come back now. So there's a minimum height you have to give so that it will go like this. It will complete a circle. And if you're giving double the minimum height, then what is the speed and normal reaction at A? This is just based on the vertical circular motion we did last time. Hope everyone remembers the result. For a string, it is root 5gr. For a rod, it is 4gl. The difference in tension, velocity profile, everything. Give it a try. Anyone has a doubt in the question, ask me. Question is clear, please go ahead. I'll give it 2 minutes. How to do? See. At the lowest position, what should be the speed? V should be root 5gr na, to complete a circle. At lowest position, speed should be root 5gr to complete a vertical circle. This is what we did last time. V should be minimum, should be root 5gr. To complete the circle or to reach the highest point. If you don't have this much, you won't even reach the topmost point. Let me write that way, to reach my point A. This is what we derived last class. Initially block was here. This is state 1. This is height h. Potential energy mgh. Kinetic energy 0. This is state 2. Potential energy 0. I took that as reference time. Kinetic energy half mv square. Initial energy is equal to final energy. You get mgh is equal to half mv square. But I know what is v square. Half m 5gr. We get h is 5r by 2. This is the minimum. You should have at least 5r by 2 height in order to complete a vertical circle.
Sir, can you take A also as state 2?
You can take, but then you know what is the speed at A?
GL, right? Root GL.
Root gr. Then also you'll get the answer. You could have done that also.
Yes.
If you want to take state A, then you should take the speed is root gr. It works. Next thing, what about the forces? You want, that's the first part. Put it down. We need minimum 5r by 2 in order to complete a circle. So this is what you'll observe in a roller coaster rides also. Must have seen a roller coaster rides where they keep track like this. So they will make sure your roller coaster ride rate is coming with a height more than 5r by 2, or else your this thing will go and get stuck here. So that circular loops which they make, this is the condition. Put it on. Second question is, if you're giving double this height, then find the speed and normal reaction at A. Copy. Look at the next part. H is 2 times H minimum. That is 2 into 5r by 2. That's 5r. So now you are releasing from a height of 5r. So then the block comes here. This is your state 1. This is 5r. This is your state 2, diameter 2r. What are the forces acting on this? Normal reaction, your own weight mg, centrifugal force away from the circle. These are the 3 forces. Now, state 1, what is the potential energy? Mg 5r. Kinetic energy 0. State 2, potential energy mg 2r. Kinetic energy half mva square. If you see, everything is a systematic process. Okay, this step, this step, this step you have to do, and this will come only when you do practice. Just by listening to the classes, you won't be able to acquire, you won't be able to be confident solving these problems. Energy in state 1 is equal to energy in state 2. That is 5 mgr is equal to 2 mgr plus half mva square. So this would be 3 mgr is equal to half mva square. You get va will be root 6gr. That's your speed. And at the highest point, if you draw the FBD, so you got Ng, normal reaction, and centrifugal force. You can clearly see here the centrifugal force is balancing the normal reaction plus Mg together. Substitute Va here. N is 5 Mg. There. The normal reaction is 5 Mg and the speed is root 6g. If you see here again, state 1, state 2, conservation of energy. Once you got the energy, then it is just a free body diagram. See, whenever someone asks you find the speed at a point on a curve, indirectly he's telling you use conservation of energy. And if someone is asking you find the normal reaction, indirectly is telling you draw an FBD, because you get forces only in a free body diagram. So these things, right, should be ingrained in your brain. Like, the moment someone says find the force, it is understood he is asking to draw an FBD. If someone is asking find the speed on some curved surface, any curve, it should click like, I have to use conservation of energy. Because on a curve, it is very difficult to use, force equations. Get it, put it down, have a look at this. Any step you didn't get anything, you didn't get, please ask me. Clear with this? Turning the page. Next one. This is the type of questions you'll get on, based on that thing. This H is there, no? This question 5R by 2. This is a straightforward question in NEET and JEE. It came in both the exams. Find the minimum height required to complete a vertical circle. CET method, that will be a standard result. Next thing. This is fixed. This is a pendulum mass and length. It's a string. Now, what happened? Exactly below this fixed point, there is a nail. Now, what will happen? This will swing So when it comes here, this is how it will go now. Are you getting it? The upper part of the string will get stuck and the lower part will start rotating. And this will start going like this. Hope you're getting how it happens. Meaning I'll just draw different things like this. So after hitting the nail, this will start going in a smaller circle. So a pendulum of length L is released from a horizontal position. It hits a nail. This distance is x. At a distance x below the fixed point. Just below the fixed point, at a distance x, there's a nail. Okay. So, and the bob rotates about the nail. And this thing starts rotating about the nail. So basically it feels like as if the circle ka radius has decreased. So the question is find x if it completes a vertical circle. So where should I keep the nail so that it completes a vertical circle? Meaning imagine you keep the nail too close. What will happen? It will come here, it will oscillate like this. It won't complete a circle. So where should I keep the nail so that you can complete a vertical circle after hitting? Hope everyone understood the scenario, what is happening, able to visualize what is happening. Where should I keep the nail below the fixed point so that after hitting, it will rotate around it? Think about it. Again, don't worry if you don't get the answer. Like I tell you every time, it's not about getting the answer. If there are 5 steps, try to figure out 1 step. That is how you learn. If you see questions, right, everything that I'm explaining, you're able to understand. So the thing is, there are multiple concepts coming at the same time, so you might be confused. But that is how you become strong. That to keep you happy, I'll give you easy questions. But final exam, what they'll do? They'll slaughter you. It's better I only slaughter you here. And one thing, if you remember, right, every chapter now you will find it difficult, but after a month you will feel okay, it is okay. Don't you think so? When you did first time calculus, you found it difficult. When I started kinematics, you said calculus was okay. When you did projectile, you found it tough. When you did laws of motion, you said projectile was okay. Think about it. It was always like that. After a month or so of enough practice and exams, you always found it was okay. I won't say too easy, but okay. And this will happen till the portion gets over. Only thing you can do is keep practicing, keep working. Doubts, you keep asking. Try this thing. I'll give you a minute more. Think about it. See, tell me one thing. When this is coming down here, what is the speed? Before hitting the nail. State 1, potential energy, mgl. Kinetic energy, 0. Here the speed is v. Potential energy, 0. I took that as a reference. Kinetic energy, half mv square. So when the pendulum is swinging from the topmost to the lowest position, so what do you get? Energy in state 1 is equal to energy in state 2. What you didn't get, right? You didn't understand the question. You didn't understand the question. Ask properly, and I didn't understand what you're talking. So you get V is equal to root 2G. So when this pendulum has come to the lowest position, you'll have root 2G. Now see what happens. So this is your fixed point. And there is a nail here. So think of it now. When the string comes and hits here, what will happen? This string will get fixed. This can't move. And this will rotate now about a circle now. And what will happen? This guy will go in a circle. Now what will be the circle car radius? It will go in a circle car radius L minus X. Are you getting it? The pendulum, after hitting the nail, that lower part will go in a circle around it. This point is fixed. So it will rotate as if now the nail is the center of the circle. Does that make sense? And we know in order to complete a circle, how much speed you need? Root 5gr. Isn't it? We studied this thing. So velocity should be greater than equal to root 5gr to complete circle. But what is V? V is root 2gl. So root 2gl should be greater than equal to root 5gr. R is L minus X. Make sense? So whatever speed you get from here, that should be equal to greater than root 5gr for the smaller circle. Does it make sense? Now square on both sides. 2gl greater than equal to 5g L minus X. Gg cancels out. You get 2l is greater than equal to 5l minus 5x. We get 5x is greater than equal to 3l. So x should be greater than equal to 3l by 5. So the final answer is x is less than l and 3 greater than 3l by 5. It can't be greater than l, na? Means it is here. Doesn't make sense. So it should be greater than 3l by 5. If we keep anything less than 3l by 5, the circle becomes so big it can't complete a circle. Check out the steps. First thing, conservation of energy from here to here. Whatever velocity you got here, that should be greater than root 5gr. R is this radius, L minus X. Again, you should know basically what you're doing. Put it down. Think about it each and every step. Any step you didn't get, please ask me.
So
Haan.
here we can directly take MGL greater than equal to half into M into 5GL minus X, right?
Half M. Basically you're doing that only. What I did in
Yes,
two
so we
different
can do
things.
it without finding
Yeah.
velocity.
You can do that. Actually, when you say half M into root 2gl minus X, you're doing that only. Yeah. Yeah, what you said is right. Examine normally, that is how you do fast enough. But once you become comfortable with that thing, right, you can do all such things. Since I'm explaining you guys, I'm showing you step by step how it works. All clear with this? Next one. Turning the page. Potential energy of a hanging rod or a chain. This thing, right? Actually, we have a whole subtopic called center of mass for different shapes, which we'll see in the next chapter. But these things are popping up, few questions. So I'll just show you how it works. Imagine you have a chain hanging. Let's say mass is m, length is l. Now look at here. Now if you look at the full chain, what is the height of this chain? 0. What is the height? 0. No? What is this height? L. What is the average of these two parts? L plus 0 by 2. L by 2, no? Are you getting it? See, for example, it is like this thing: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What is 10 and 0 ka average? 5. What is 9 and 1 ka average? 9 plus 1 by 2, 5. 8 plus 2 by 2, 5. 6 plus 4, 5. Are you getting something? So if you see this thing, each point, right, is a different height. So actually every part of the chain has different potential energy. All points on a chain every part of a chain is a different height. Their average height comes out to be the middle. Meaning you can replace this whole chain with a single point of mass m at a height L by 2. You're getting it? So whenever someone gives a chain like that, now you can forget about the chain. Take the entire chain in the center at L by 2 and finish it off. And from there we can write potential energy of the chain will be this L by 2 is a H average. Mass G and average height. In this case, it is mg L by 2. So remember that. So how will they ask a question on this? They will say, okay, there is a chain like this. Then someone is applying force F. Then what will happen to the chain? Chain will become like this. They'll ask you find work done by force. The work done by force is potential energy final minus potential energy initial. So this potential energy will be mg L by 2 minus 0. You take the average. This though is 0 initially because it's on the same level. The work done by the force to lift the chain is mg L by 2. Kinetic energy is anyway 0. So we'll get some simple questions like that. How much work do you do in order to lift the chain vertically? It is not mgl because every point is not going L. Na? Some points are 0, some points are L. So you always take the average. Does this make sense? Is this clear? Any doubts? Just is this fine? Riddhi? Nimi? Kamakshi? Asta? Put it up. Let's see a problem based on this. So later on, we will see in the next chapter, right? We have different shapes: cone, cylinder, hemisphere. All the shapes also have something like this, an average. So we call it center of mass. So we will see that in the next one. Copy. Let's see the question. Clear? Next one. We got a chain. The chain of mass m, length L. It's some part is hanging outside. So X part is hanging. Friction is half. Chain of mass m and L. A part of it is overhanging. It's placed on a table with X part hanging. If you remember, we have done this question in friction. So the first thing, find X if chain is about to slip, meaning chain is on the verge of slipping. Little push and the chain will go off. This A part, right, we did in friction. Second part, how much work is done in order to put the chain back on the table? To put hanging chain on table. So whatever is hanging now, this part, if you want to put it back on the table, how much work should you do? Hope the question is clear. Question of friction is asked. Any doubts on the question, please ask me. Question is clear, go ahead. Think about it. Try on your own. First part, everyone should get it. That's what we did in the class. I'll give you 2 minutes for the first one. Let's see. Any answers for the first one? See. Now we know for length L, mass is m. For length x, what is the mass? So mass of the hanging part will be m into x by L. The mass per unit length into length. So what will be the weight of this guy then? This will be mxg by L. This is the weight of the hanging part. Fair enough. Friction will be backward. What will be the normal reaction? This is the normal reaction and weight. If this is mx by L, then this will be m by L, mass per unit length into length of the chain, Lx by g. Are you getting it? So for L minus x, length will be m by L into L minus x. So we get the normal reaction will be m by L g into L minus x. So we get friction is equal to mu n. This is maximum since it is a slip. So this would be mu mg by L into L minus x. Since the chain is at rest, we should have F max is equal to weight of the hanging chain. How much is this? Mu mg by L into L minus x is equal to mxg by L. mgl gets cancelled out. You get mu into L minus x is equal to x. What is mu? Half. So we get L minus x is equal to 2x. X is equal to L by 2. So 1/3 of the chain is hanging. 2/3 is on the table. Clear? Take an next part. You have to find how much work is done to pull this hanging chain. Na? It is like this. You made it like this. Kind of like this. You just kept it on the top. So this is your state 1, that is your state 2. Where is the average? You should take this na average. I'll take this as a reference line. This length is L by 3. So this average would be L by 6. What is the mass of this hanging part? M by 3. So what is this potential energy? Mass M by 3, gravity minus L by 6. It is below the reference line. Finally, when it is here, what is the potential energy? 0, because it is passing through the reference line. We are neglecting the height of the chain. This is final, this is initial. So what is work done by all forces? Work done is change in potential energy plus change in kinetic energy. This is 0 because there is no velocity. So work done, final minus initial 0 minus of minus mg L by 18. That's your answer. So you need to do mg L by 18 amount of work to put the chain back. So this is how you can get a question on this. Clear with this? Any doubts on this thing, please ask me. Jash, Janay, keep your cams on. Clear? Next one.
So one.
Next one. So what is this power actually? Simply to put it the definition, power is nothing but rate of work done. Straightforward definition. So power is given by dW by dt. So this can be also written as work done is integral P dt. And we know work done is what? Force dot displacement. If I substitute that here, it will become Fr dot dr by dt. And what is dr by dt? Velocity. Remember this thing, we have done this thing, where in laws of motion mein, constant equations. Power due to tension T bar dot V bar. Remember product T1 V1 plus T2 V2 constant. If you remember there, I showed you this thing, power. So this is one important form of power, F bar dot bar. If someone gives you force and velocity, or P is dW by dt, that's the definition. Right? Then, now if you look at this from this graph, there's one more thing. What is average power? Average power is total work by total time. Average power is the total work by time. If you're taking a work and a time graph, so what is the slope here? Slope is dW by dt, which is nothing but power. So in a work time graph, the slope is power. Plus time graph. So area above this is positive. Area below this is negative. So we get here area nothing but integral power dt, which is work. So in a PT graph, the area under the graph will give you work done. My voice is breaking. So I just lost power. I'm running on this thing. Let me see. Is it better now? But sorry. Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
so we have our exam starting from 1st March,
Okay.
CBSE. Sir, we have to go and give the exams in the college.
Okay.
So, sir, during that 1 week, can I not attend the class? I will have to
You
go.
send me your schedule, no? You send me your college exam schedule.
Okay, sir.
Let me see what can be done.
Okay, sir.
All copied? Next thing, let's say a question on this thing. We have force is 3I minus j plus 4k. The velocity is given by 2I plus 2j minus 2k. Find the power. Simple question, straightforward. This is a CET level and NEET level question. They'll give you force and velocity, they'll ask you. We have work and time. (30°). This is 1. This is 2. This is 60. This is 45. This is 3, and this is 5. So this is a work time graph. So plot power versus time graph. Get that. Someone gave you force and velocity, and they give it W. Two different questions. What are the timings, Suresh, on?
So the timings are not confirmed, but it is in the morning.
Okay.
Sir, it's a 3-hour paper.
Mm-hmm. No issue. Once you get the timings, let me know.
Okay, sir.
Look at the first one. First one is easy. Power is f bar dot v bar. You know how to do dot product. Multiply I components, j components, and k components. So this is 3 into 2 minus 1 into 2, 4 into minus 2, 6 minus 2 minus 8. So that is minus 4 watts. That is one more thing. Power ka units are watts. Okay. Units are joule per second, which is watt. You must have seen a 10 watt bulb, 20 watt bulb, 30 watt bulb. That is the meaning of it. When you say 100 watt bulb, meaning every second it is burning 100 joules per second. That was the first one. Second thing, how to draw the graph. What is the slope here? Tan 30, which is minus plus 1 by root 3. What is the slope here? 0. What is the slope here? Root 3. What is the slope here? Tan 135. You should take with positive x-axis, na? Minus 1. So now we know here the slope is power. The slope in a WT graph is power. So when you draw this WT, what do you get? Power time graph. So for the first 1 second, what is the slope? 1 by root 3, straight line. From 1 to 2 seconds, what is the slope? 0. From 2 to 3, what is the slope? Root 3. And from 3 to 5, what is the slope? Minus 1. So basically, you get 4 horizontal lines. Does this make sense? We have done something similar like this in VT graph and AT graph. Velocity time graph, mein slope is acceleration time graph. You just need to find the slopes and plot it. Check it out. Any doubts on this thing, please ask me. So in a WT graph, for each line, find the slope and just plot the slopes on a PT graph. So basically, you get 4 horizontal lines. Slopes are constant. No? This is again exactly like kinematics of the graphs. So graphs, you know, if you see a kinematics graph, whenever you're confused, go back to kinematics graphs. If you see everything is same, only the, you know, y and x ka placement, it will be different. In place of, you know, power, we can have velocity time graph, acceleration time graph, displacement time graph, work time graph. You're just changing the quantities. But I told you, remember, in graphs, you only have to check 2 things. What is slope, what is area? Those are 2 primary things you always have. Any doubts on this thing? Next one. Turning the page. We have a block. We have a force 20 root 2 newtons. Mass 5 kg. Mu is half. This is 45 degree. Find power due to friction and force due to F and friction at t is equal to 2 seconds. If you remember this question we did, this is the 3rd time it is coming. First time we did this in kinematics. Second time we did this in work only in the same chapter. This is the 3rd time it is coming. Again, what is power? Force, velocity, cos theta. F bar dot v bar. Try for 2 minutes. So first of all, you need to find the velocity. Means you have to draw an FBD. Find acceleration. Get it? You have done this thing. If you're thinking where we did this thing, remember this question, 3rd one. Exact same question. Nothing has changed. We have done this already. I just am asking you power now. Try. I'll give you 3 minutes. First thing, people, free body diagram. This is f cos 45, f sin 45. Normal reaction, your own weight, friction. Remember, n is not mg here. The n will be how much? 50 minus 20, 30. So what is friction? Mu into n. That's half into 30, 15 newtons. We have done the same problem, problem 3 in the same chapter. So what is the acceleration? 20 minus friction is ma. Friction is 15, mass is 5, acceleration is this. So a is 1 meter per second square. What is velocity? U plus at. U 0, a is 1, time is 2. So 2 meter per second. So you want the power. So this is force. This is velocity, and this is 45, and this is friction. So power due to F will be F V cos 45. F is 10, 20 root 2. Velocity is 2. Cos 45 is 1 by root 2. 40 watts. Power due to friction will be, friction is backward, minus F into V. Minus friction is 15. Velocity is 2. Minus 30 watts. Check it out. So basically, if you see now, till here it is the same story every time. Even in friction ka chapter, I asked you this only. Find the velocity after 2 seconds. Till here, it's a common thing. Drawing an FBD, getting the acceleration, finding the velocity. Check it out. Any step you didn't get, please ask me. By now, this FBD and acceleration partner should be very comfortable with this thing. Because see, this itself is a question. Find the acceleration. Clear with this thing? Run the weights. Put it on, put it up. Turn in the page. A particle is projected with u and theta, projectile motion. So when it is flying, the gravity is always there. Find power due to gravity at time t. Get it? The particle is projected with u and theta. Find the power due to gravity at any time t. Again, what is power? Force dot product velocity. So you should know what is the force acting on the particle, velocity at any time t. Again, this thing is purely projectile motion only. See, this is what makes physics, little difficult. You have to be thorough with everything that you learn, and that becomes your advantage actually later on if you study. Everything is revised, everything is on hand. See, first thing, when it is flying, what are the forces acting? Mg, mg, mg. No matter how you are going, the force is always mg downward. So what is the force? Mg minus j cap. Agreed? There's only one force acting. What is the velocity? Remember, velocity at any instant, you have vx, vy. And now you need to remember this thing. If you don't know these things, then you're gone. Horizontal velocity will always remain same, u cos theta I cap. Vertical velocity will be u sin theta minus gt. Remember this velocity profile? Vertical component is u sin theta minus gt. This thing. Done actually. Power is what? Force dot velocity. There is only j component. So minus mg u sin theta minus gt. Single step, you get the answer. Because there is no I component here, only the j components get multiplied. Minus mg into u sin theta minus gt. So if you see, the question is easy. There's nothing much about the power, but we should know this velocity profile. If you forgot that, then you can't solve. Make sense? Easy. So you should remember your acceleration and everything of this. Clear? Next one. We have a pump here, which is, taking water from a given ground, and water is coming out. So this height is 10 meters. So the pump is taking water from a reservoir 10 meters depth, and it is pushing out water with a speed of 10 meters per second. And every second, 10 kgs of water is being emitted this second. So a pump lifts water from a depth of 10 meters and throws 10 kgs per second with a speed of 10 meters per second. Hope they're able to visualize the scenario. The efficiency of the pump, this is a symbol for efficiency. We call it eta. Efficiency is what? Our output, how much are you getting by how much you give? So here efficiency of the pump is 40% given. For different pumps, you'll have different things. So here it is given efficiency of this pump is 40%. Meaning if you give 100 joules, only 40 joules is used to lift the water. Remaining all becomes heat and wasted. Find power supplied to the pump. How much electricity is the pump using? Basically, I'm asking power input. Again, I'll repeat the question. You got a pump on a building of height 10 meters. It is pulling water from a depth of 10 meters and throwing out with 10 kgs per second with a speed of 10 meters per second. But efficiency of the pump is only 40%. So how much power are you actually supplying to the pump? Hope the question is clear. Try, I'll give you 2 minutes. Anyone who didn't get the question, please ask me. Any answers? Let's see. First thing, you're lifting how much water per second? Potential energy per second will be mass per second into gravity into height. So that is 10 kgs of water per second. Gravity is 10, height is also 10. So you got that is 1000 joules per second. So every second, just to lift the water, you have to provide this much energy. What is kinetic energy per second? Again, half mass per second into v square. That is half 10 into 10 square. To throw the water out, you need to spend 500 joules per second. So there are two different things here. You need to spend energy to lift, you need to spend energy to throw. So total energy per second will be this potential plus kinetic energy per second, which is 1500 joules per second. But tell me one thing, what is total energy per second? Power, no? Energy per second is power. But what power is this? This is the output power. Meaning this much power the water is having, you need this much energy to throw it out. And what is efficiency? Power input by power output. And it is given, efficiency is 0.4. I wrote reverse. Power output by power input. So even power input will be power output by efficiency, 0.4. So that's 1500 by 0.4. That thing comes out to be 3750 joule per second. Or you can also write it as 3.75 kilowatts. Put it up. Clear? Next thing. Next thing, let's see. A vehicle of mass m and constant power p starts from rest. This is a standard question again. This thing has come multiple times, both in NEET, JEE, CET, bits everywhere. This thing has come so many times. Starts from rest. Find velocity and the position as function of time. So you have a vehicle which can produce a constant power starting from rest. So what will be the velocity and position after time t? Get this thing. What was today's homework? 12th current electricity. Okay. Everyone have to wait. Group 3 students have to sit and solve. Once you finish off your homework, you can leave. In case you have some other class and if you're so worried now, you should have done the homework yesterday only. Or should have woken up early today at 7 o'clock and should do the homework. See, you want your marks to improve, you don't want to give time, and it doesn't make sense, right? See, what is power? Force into velocity, which is constant. What is force? Mass into acceleration. What is acceleration? dv by dt. So it will be v dv is equal to p by m dt. Integrate. So you get v dv is equal to integral p by m dt. 0 to time, 0 to u, v. So we get v square by 2 is equal to pt by m. So this will be root over 2p by m t. So this was the question that directly asked you. V is proportional to what? T power 1, t square, t power half, like this. This is one. Next thing. So we know v is equal to root over 2p by m into t to the power of half. But what is v? dx by dt. Again integrate. You get dx is root over 2p by m t power half dt. Integrate 0 to x, 0 to t. This would be x is equal to root over 2p by m. That would be t power 3 by 2 by 3 by 2. That's 2/3 of root over 2p by m. This is another question. X is proportional to what? T power 3 by 2. These are the straightforward questions they asked. A vehicle is going with a constant power p. The velocity is proportional to what? The position is proportional to what? Pull down. That was the last one for the day.